Welcome to a special episode of the Pull List Examiner. Today I'm going to participate in the Bearded and Cole's comic book cover challenge. They do this monthly where they give a theme and people join in and share their top 10 comics for that given theme, and it's based around the covers of the comics. And this time the theme is covers with fighting.
Put your word out. Get ready for the nerd out. Better put specs on. Better break necks on.
I'm just going to share what is essentially 10 covers that I really enjoyed. I don't know if I would call them my top 10, but hopefully you like what I picked out. So let's take a look. So starting off, we have Army of Darkness, Convention Invasion, and this is a cover with what is essentially Bruce Campbell on the cover, Ash from the series Army of Darkness, Evil Dead, and if you look at a lot of the Army of Darkness comics that are out there, there are definitely a lot of fights on the covers between Ash and the Deadites, and I thought this was a pretty cool example. You got Ash with his boomstick just kind of hovering above the Deadites, grasping at his feet. The next couple covers I'm going to share are done by Sam Keith. If you are a Sam Keith fan like me, hopefully you'll appreciate these. First is a throwback all the way back to when I was a kid. This is issue 121 of Marvel Comics Presents. If you remember the Marvel Comics Presents series, they had 4 short stories in each issue, and there's actually a double cover. You can flip it over and there'll be on the other side another cover, but this side has Wolverine versus Venom, done by Sam Keith. Sam Keith did a bunch of the Marvel Comics Presents covers and a bunch of the stories too on the inside of the comic itself, but I thought this was a cool example of Wolverine fighting Venom done in that amazing Sam Keith style. And both issues 4 and 5 of the series of Batman the Max Arkham Dreams, which was a newer series put out, I think it was like a year or two ago. It had some delays and kind of got dragged out for a bit, but another cool Sam Keith. This time we've got Batman versus the Max as they battle through some we'll call them dreamscapes inside of Arkham and the Outback where the Max lives. So, and for the 4th book I'm going to share today, sticking with the theme of Batman, coming off the last title, we've got Detective Comics issue 1027. This was a special anniversary for Detective Comics, and there was like, I can't remember, there was a ton of covers for this issue, but my favorite cover artist at the moment is Gabriel Delato, and he did this cover. It's essentially Batman lifting Scarecrow up by the throat, and in this mid-battle fight scene here, I thought this was a great cover. If you watch my show regularly, you'll know that one of my favorite recent series was Metal Society, and this is issue number 5, which was the final issue of Metal Society, and you'll see here on this cover a fight between humans and robots. It is what essentially the entire series was about, was humanity fighting back against the robots who had taken over. And if you haven't read the series, highly recommend checking it out. It was a great read, but I thought this cover kind of encapsulated that whole idea of them in this battle between humans and robots. If you've been around comics for a long time, you'll actually notice that they've done this multiple times. Archie has released these characters over and over again. They seem to live for a bit and then die off, but it was a really important series for me as a kid because I just ate it all up. There's all these new characters, new stories, new origins, and it was really fun. And there was this crossover in issue number 4 of the Comet. The Comet has these we'll call it superpowers that come from outer space, if you want to say that, and he can fly and shoot what is essentially like lasers from his hands. And he came across this crossover with the Black Hood, and literally the entire issue here is them fighting each other in this non-stop drag out battle, and thought this was a cool cover with Black Hood and Comet about to take each other out. For my next book, I'm going to take a look at Incredible Hulk number 428. This is actually some early Liam Sharp work that he did over at Marvel. I think before this he had done a Venom series, and that's about it. And this is the phrase here on the front of the cover is Battle of the Green Behemoths, and it's basically the Incredible Hulk fighting Man-Thing, and it's a pretty cool shot of them with Incredible Hulk putting him in a headlock while they're battling it out in what appears to be some kind of swampy water. So, and going back to some of my favorite artists of the 90s, we've got XFactor issue 85. This is a cover done by Jay Lee, and it's got Wolverine and Bishop teaming up to fight off Cable, and Jay Lee's art is that got that unique dark style to it. Really like his artwork and thought this cover would be a good addition to the cover challenge. We're down to the last two books, and we'll start with Green Lantern from the most recent Green Lantern series, issue number 6, and it actually has Teen Lantern on the cover, and she has taken out all of the yellow lanterns and they're in a boxing ring. I thought this was just a cool cover to apply to a fighting theme, and if you haven't read this series, it was pretty good. The artwork was done by Marco Santucci for a lot of the issues, and I got to meet him at the Motor City Comic Con, and he's a cool guy with some great art. And I'm going to end with the previous Savage Avengers titles, not the most recent one, but issue number 17. This was a variant cover I just had to pick up, and it depicts the battle between Deadpool and Conan the Barbarian. Kind of a unique team up there. They were teamed up against each other a little bit here, but I think in the story itself they were actually fighting off evil together. But I just thought that was a kind of a cool cover. Some great artwork actually. I'm not actually sure who did this cover, but the painting style is very nice looking there with this battle between Deadpool and Conan the Barbarian. Thanks for watching this special episode as we looked at the Bearded and Cole's cover challenge. And I would just say that if you are not a subscriber of either Cole's Comics Claims channels or Bearded's channel, check out their links in the description of this video below. Go over and make sure you subscribe to their channels. They have great content that is well worth watching, and hopefully you'll tune in to my next episode of the Pull List Examiner as I talk about my favorite picks of the week for New Comic Book Day. Thanks for watching.